What's up everyone, and once again welcome back to the channel. So today's video is about TVS RTX 300 versus Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. Many of you have been putting up this in the comment that how it fares with when we compare it with Himalayan 450. So on that basis I'm making this video. I currently own RTX 300 and I have ridden Himalayan 450 for more than couple of times. Total of 150 kilometers of ride I have done in that particular motorcycle. So I've got fair bit of experience riding Himalayan 450. So on that basis I'll be putting up some points today. Now before we start, let me make one thing very clear. Both are very good motorcycles. This is not about which bike is better, but rather it is about which particular motorcycle suits which kind of rider. Now you know that both are ADV style motorcycles, adventure tourers. Both are made for Indian road conditions, but their character, their riding feel, their riding quality and priorities are quite different with each other. So let's break down point by point, and by the end you'll understand who should pick Himalayan 450 and who should go for RTX 300. So let's start with design first, because this is the most subjective part. Now Himalayan 450 has that retro classic ADV look. It has that roundest design language which clearly carries forward that traditional Royal Enfield DNA. Tall stance, simple and rugged. So it looks a proper old school adventure bike which belongs in the mountains. On the other hand, RTX 300 looks aggressive and modern. Sharp lines, muscular tank, modern lighting. It feels more futuristic and sporty. Park both bikes side by side and you'll immediately notice the difference in their personality. So honestly, there is no winner over here. If you like classic, rugged, old school ADV vibes, then you should go for Himalayan 450. But if you prefer aggressive, modern and sporty design, RTX 300 way to go. Now coming to the heart of the motorcycle, that is engine. The Himalayan 450 comes with the new 450cc Sherpa engine, and there is no denying that it has more powerful, it is more punchier, more character, more livelier engine and has more torque. You'll feel that extra displacement immediately, especially when you open the throttle in this particular motorcycle. The exhaust note is bassier, deeper and gives that signature Royal Enfield thump and character, which many riders absolutely love it. Now the RTX 300, even though it's a 300cc engine, but it surprises you with power and the torque delivery that this particular motorcycle has to offer. Yes, it has less power on the paper, but low end torque feels really good. In fact, in slow speed riding, crawling traffic and tight mountain sections, the RTX engine feels more usable and stress free. Both motorcycles can cruise at 100 plus km all day without the engine feeling stressed. So touring capability is there in both bikes. So yes, if you want more punch, stronger mid-range and that Royal Enfield character, Himalayan 450 is for you. And if you want smooth, refined power delivery that's easy to live with daily rides, then RTX 300. Now talking about the tank size and the fuel economy, because this is also an important point for touring riders. The Himalayan 450 gets a bigger 17-liter fuel tank, which is clearly better for long distance touring. It will ensure that you have fewer fuel stops, more peace of mind while you're going for tours. The RTX 300 gets 12-liter tank, which honestly feels a bit small for long distance touring. But here is the twist, the fuel efficiency. If ridden properly, RTX can give you up to 35 kmpl, which is actually very impressive for this segment. I have personally spoken to multiple Himalayan 450 owners and most of them report that only 20 to 25 kmpl is what they get from the motorcycle depending on the riding style. It can also go as low as 15 to 18 kmpl in stop and go traffic situations. So yes, Himalayan has a bigger tank, but RTX feels far more pocket friendly in long run. Now talking about the suspension, now this is where the Himalayan 450 really shines. The suspension setup on the Himalayan is seriously good, easily one of the best in its class. You talk about bad roads, broken mountain patches, off-road trails, water crossings, it just absorbs everything with confidence. So if your riding involves mountain roads, rough terrain or serious off-roading, or you want to go for long distance touring with luggage and pillion, the Himalayan feels more at home. The RTX suspension is slightly on the firmer side. It is not bad at all. It handles mountain roads and mild off-roads quite well, but it's clearly not as plush or forgiving as Himalayan 450's suspension. This suspension in RTX 300 feels better suited for mixed riding conditions, cities, highways, occasional bad roads, weekend rides, rather than dedicated trail riding. Talking about comfort wise, both motorcycles are very comfortable. Seat height is almost identical and anyone above 5'5" can easily manage both the bikes without much trouble. But when it comes to weight, the Himalayan does feel heavier, especially at standstill or while moving in slow traffic, while maneuvering in tight spaces. So it demands a bit more confidence and riding skill. The RTX on the other hand feels lighter, more nimble and agile. When you talk about city rides, traffic filtering, quick turns, everything feels easier and less tiring in RTX 300. For long touring though, the Himalayan edges ahead slightly. The seat comfort for both rider and pillion feels better in Himalayan, especially for longer trips in saddle. Feature wise, the RTX 300 offers crazy value for money. You get features like cruise control, quick shifter, dynamic lights and 4 ride modes. These features usually are found on much more expensive bikes. The Himalayan 450 also gets some modern essentials like TFT display, LED lights, ride modes are present, Bluetooth connectivity is there. But overall, the electronic package in Himalayan feels a bit more basic compared to RTX. Even the headlight performance feels better illuminated on RTX 300. So purely from features perspective, then I feel that RTX edges a little bit ahead than Himalayan 450. Now when we talk about braking performance, it is another noticeable difference. The Himalayan 450 has stronger braking feel, the initial bite is better, engine braking is very strong and overall stopping confidence is also higher. The RTX brakes are decent but initial bite feels slightly softer, ABS tends to kick in early and the bike takes a little longer to come to a complete stop. Not quite unsafe, but Himalayan clearly feels more reassuring when it comes to brakes. So now the big question, who should pick Himalayan 450? Pick Himalayan 450 if you want more power and stronger torque, if you love that bassy Royal Enfield exhaust and character, if your riding involves mountains, bad roads and off-roading quite often, if you want best in class suspension in your motorcycle, if you are planning to go for long distance touring with pillion and luggage, and if you're okay living with heavier motorcycle and slightly lesser fuel economy. You can pick RTX 300 if you want smooth, refined, easy to ride engine. If majority of your ride includes city, highway and daily rides, you value features, technology and fuel efficiency. If you want lighter and more agile motorcycle in ADV segment, and you want better value for money overall. Both bikes are excellent, it just depends on your riding style, usage and your priorities. So you got to decide and pick the right motorcycle between these two. There is also a significant amount of price difference between two motorcycles that you can always do a research on, and I wish that you pick a right motorcycle for yourself according to your riding style. If this video helped you, hit that like button, comment your thoughts, we'll connect over there and let me know which one you'd pick and why would you pick that particular motorcycle. I'll see you soon with the next one. Until then, ride safe, take care and thank you for watching. Bye bye.